What's up? Welcome to another episode, brand new season. Haven't been on in a long time of Unnamed Sports Show. Picked a bad time to get back on. I thought I was going to get on and Lakers were going to, be up in the series, and I was going to be back in time for Lakers to be in the NBA Finals, and that didn't quite work out the way I thought it would, but here we are. Anyways, I am not scared to talk about my team losing and possibly losing, but I'm still picking Lakers in 7 because I have faith in my team. But listen, I have some of my people with me today, co-hosting with me. Got my man, Coach Che. What's good, bro?
Not much, man.
How's everything been?
It is for you. I know.
Bro, it hurts. But see, the good thing is my hockey team's doing really good, so it kind of evens it out. So I'm still doing good.
I got you.
Yeah. Got my other co-host. You haven't seen him in a long time, folks. It's been a very long time. Let me see if I can find his name tag. I don't know what's that. But he doesn't have a name today. I'll find it. But all the way from being a Houston Rockets fan, thinking he was going to get the first pick.
Oh, boy.
Did not happen.
No.
Got my man Cream in the building.
What up?
How you feeling?
Man, I'm alive. I made it here. You know what I'm saying? I was on time today. I didn't have to hear none of those jokes. That was good. You know what I'm saying?
He was really on time. I was shocked.
That felt good. You know what I mean?
When I heard a knock, we were like, yo, who is that?
The door was locked. It was probably a timer for like 2:30. Yeah, that sounds about right. No, I made it.
But he made it. He was on time. He was here. But let's jump right into it, folks. We are here. We're live. If you're watching live, please share the live video stream. If you're catching the replay, you can go ahead and share that too. We are here live whenever we feel like it. We don't have a set day or time. But we have some dope interviews we're going to be dropping too. I've got an interview with basketball legend that me and Coach Che actually did not too long ago with Shea Cotton, California basketball legend. If you don't know about him, check him out on Amazon. He has a really dope documentary on there. So make sure you guys check that out. And also, I got Bubba Jenkins coming up, a PFL fighter. He went to the finals last year, lost in the finals. But we're going to be talking to him about Francis Ngannou signing to PFL and what that does for everybody in the PFL. Got some UFC fighters. O'Day Osborne is going to be live in the studio soon. Jamal Hill will be live in the studio as well in the next month or two, light heavyweight champion. So stay tuned, stay locked into everything that's going on here on Unnamed Sports Show. I'm your host, Quan59. Once again, got my man, Coach Che and Cream in the building. And we're going to jump right into it. Lakers in 7. Do you guys have faith like I have faith, Coach Che?
Absolutely not.
Zero faith.
I mean, listen, can it be done? Yeah. It's going to have to be a drastic change, and not only approach in the way that they're going about things, but just there's no effort, and when you're relying on that effort coming from Anthony Davis or young guys who aren't really sure when they need to assert themselves, when they need to step back. Austin Reeves has proven he can play at this level. He's proven he can be, an effective NBA player. He's definitely going to get a bag this summer.
Yeah.
However, he's in a situation, he's playing alongside 2 Hall of Famers, and you can tell there's a little bit of trepidation when it comes time to put the ball on the floor and go make a play. Or there's been some time where he hasn't touched the ball. When he touches the ball, it's like, oh, now I got to go do what I want to do. So he's unsure.
Yeah.
D'Lo, as a Buckeye, I hate to say this,
he disappeared in this series. He had been good in a lot of playoff games, and then he would disappear in some. And then this series, he definitely fully disappeared. Cream, what have you seen in this series to see why the Lakers are where they are right now in a 3-0 hole.
See, I see it. I see it a little different. Them dudes are out there playing hard. They just ain't good enough, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Anthony Davis ain't got nothing left to prove to me. Like, even the games that he's not scoring, you watch that defense, that man is a one-man defense. They just ain't as good as them, man. We just ain't giving Denver the props that Denver needs, man. Jokic didn't score for the first 3 quarters, and they were leading. But Jamal Murray went off. Hey, man, you just got to tip your cap. That's all you could do.
And then they held Murray almost scoreless in the second half, and they still they took Jokic out. I think they were up by 2, and they took him out. And that's usually been the time the Lakers are able to come and
put together a run
and put together something.
D'Angelo in. That's kind of what they should stop
So
doing.
can we talk about coaching? Is coaching part of it? Did Darvin Ham make the proper adjustments? Because I'll ask Coach.
Listen, the bottom line is this. You can talk to your blue in the face. You can put guys in situations, but execution is what the NBA is about.
Yeah.
Okay? At the end of the day, every single team is running stuff that has won championships in the past at other places, okay? At the end of the day, if guys can't go out there and execute and do what they're supposed to do, I see the ball come off of the rim, and I see 4 Denver Nuggets running down the floor, and I see 3 Lakers who aren't even ready to take off running. I see loose balls, 50-50 balls. I don't think they've had 5 50-50 balls.
Like 80-20 balls now.
Yeah, they never get them.
That's real.
They never ever get them. That's what kills you. Second chance shots are the biggest thing. If they could just mitigate the second chance opportunities that Denver gets, Denver's made probably 8 Hail Mary shots so far in this series.
Yeah.
I'd say probably 6 of them have come off of second chance opportunities.
Yeah.
If you can minimize their second chance opportunities, you're in the game. Because at the end of the day, you have a great defender in Anthony Davis, right? You have a guy that when he decides to put the ball on the floor and go downhill to the basket, no one is going to stop him. So you have to be able to utilize that and minimize what it is that they're doing.
Yep.
I mean, listen, if we're going to talk about coaching, this is a 7 seed that is in every single fourth quarter against the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Listen, sometimes you can coast your blue in the face. You could do everything right, and the ball just don't go in, or the ball goes in against you. And that team over there is making the ball go in more than this team over here. Maybe you had the right defense set up. Ball still went in.
Yeah.
It's just
They're definitely making
better.
plays.
Yes,
they're definitely making plays. But the thing is this: they're not making the plays that they normally make. They're not making plays out of sets. They're not making plays out of good ball rotation. They're throwing up a lot of shots that if they miss those shots, and this is how I always dictate whether a shot is a good shot or a bad shot. If Jamal Murray misses those shots, if Jokic misses those shots, then Denver fans are saying, "What are you doing?
Bad shot.
That's a terrible shot." So we can't. We have to determine whether or not a good shot or a bad shot is that based on time, score, situation. They've been more than lucky. Now, will that luck run out? I don't think so in a 3-0 lead.
And the thing I like about Denver is what a lot of teams don't do these days. They haven't given up on their core players. They could have given up on Jamal Murray when he got hurt. They could have given up on back problems.
Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr. They could have given up on him multiple times.
Yeah.
Instead, they paid him, and now it's paying off. But they've built their team. They've kept going. And I feel like we see too many teams in the NBA these days. They're trying to win this year instead of just building that core. And you see Denver. They've played together, and that's why they're better right now. They made some key additions in the offseason with KCP, Bruce Brown. Like, they made some key additions with the core.
Yeah. And that's the key. I think Brown is the key because Brown plays with a level of confidence that Austin Reeves isn't quite playing with. We saw Austin Reeves do that in the previous series and towards the backstretch of the season. But right now, when games are really, really mattering and he needs to step up and not just make an amazing highlight play, but make an actual basketball play to move the ball from side to side, to be either a decoy or be the guy that drives the ball downhill to create opportunities, to get the ball out of D'Lo's hands. Because D'Lo, when the ball gets in his hands, he's trying to make the play.
Yeah.
As opposed to how Brown and some of these other guys for Denver are part of the play.
I'm not sure if
Bro, I
D'Angelo
think
Russell.
Austin Reeves is balling.
He's
I don't
been
know.
balling.
I don't know.
Yeah,
where
he's
this is coming
balling,
from.
but
I
balling
think
don't help
Austin-
you win games.
No, having
He balling.
having less people ball than the other team is what's not helping them win games. But Austin Reeves is killing it. I don't know.
Yeah, he looked dope. He looked dope. So did some of them Grizzly players. But I told them before,
I don't put the blame on Reed. Everyone takes blame,
the role
right?
players have been playing good. It's not D'Angelo Russell, but the role players have been playing good, man.
Schroeder's been playing good.
Schroeder's been
everything.
He's the one that D'd up Jamal Murray.
Thank you. Everything
3.
isn't just how many points you scored. Like he is.
Oh no, I
of,
played this game, so I know that.
I
Listen to me.
understand that.
He's playing great defense. There's no
Okay.
doubt. But too many situations, he has thrown the ball away in a way that a high school player does.
But I feel
He's
like all
also-
the Lakers
backup
have.
though for a reason.
Yeah,
I feel like all the Lakers
He's a
have.
backup for a reason though. Like
LeBron's trying to force some passes down
Exactly.
court a lot.
Exactly.
And I have a question because I got in a discussion about this on social media yesterday, and it turned into an argument because other people wanted to jump in and get his back. But he said he doesn't blame LeBron at all for the loss or for losing in these playoffs. And he used the excuse because he's 38, he doesn't take any blame.
Oh, I don't care about that.
LeBron, if you're still playing
If
in the
I pass
league,
you the
you're still
ball, I
playing in the
expect you
league.
to score. I don't care what you are.
And he's taken some very untimely threes that if he wouldn't have taken the 3 and driven to the hole, Lakers could be up 2-1 in this series.
Yeah.
So there is blame to be taken by everybody in this, especially LeBron, because here's the thing with this. If you're the team leader and your team's down 3-0, I don't care if you're Michael Jordan and you play perfect games, you didn't do something right to be down 3-0.
Yeah.
There's something you didn't do in the huddle to get your teammates in the right place.
Yeah.
You're taking the blame as the best player and the leader on the court.
That's the thing. I'm sure Bron is taking the blame. So why anybody wants to defend him for something that he's saying,
These cats are from Ohio.
I messed that up. And they're like, nah, no, you didn't, Bron. Well, you don't know that, man. Stop.
Yeah.
Well, knowing him, I'm gonna tell you right now, he's taking it all on himself.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Bottom line, he's taking it all on himself because that's what you have to do if you're the leader of a team. More importantly, there's been crucial situations that I can guarantee you he's looking back at film and like, wow.
Game 2, Bron was
that
not
cost
good.
us.
He was not good game 2.
That cost
Yeah.
us. You know, there were
Ms. Ball&D said all Lakers have been taking bad shots and too many unforced turnovers.
The
They're
unforced
trying to
turnovers
rush a fast break when all you have to do is make the smart pass.
Yeah.
They've been a very good passing team, and in this series, they just have tried to force way too many weird passes that don't make any sense. Like
Denver
you said,
rotates
it looks like
defensively.
8th grade boys basketball.
The way I've been seeing is every time they start running is when they're actually scoring on them. And then Russell comes in the game and he slows the tempo down. And they've been playing together too long, and they got their defense set, and they know what they're going to do, know how to communicate. But when you get Denver running now, problem is they're going to start scoring too, but that's when they've made their runs. It's when they're actually pushing the pace.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen.
Does D'Lo start tonight? Because I don't think he does.
I don't think Darvin is going to change the lineup.
If you weren't going to, if you weren't,
They changed the lineup a lot, though.
if you weren't going to
They've
bench
had,
him in the second half of last game, I don't know why you could do it now. I thought that was the time to do it.
Denver rotates defensively probably better than any of the 4 teams.
Well,
They're
if Porter's
really-
not playing because he's
they're-
terrible at
they're-
defense.
But
no defense.
He's similar to guys like J.J. Redick, who aren't great defenders, but they're position guys. And if 3 or 4 guys can play good defense, one guy only has to be in the right place.
J.J. Redick tried.
And these guys, you cannot
He blocked a shot.
drive baseline and try to throw it around to the other corner and stuff like that against a team that, for the most part, they're where they need to be. You know, that's why those Duke teams were always so good defensively, not because they were athletic or anything, it's just where you're supposed to be. That mitigates a lot of the BS of you being just where you need to be. And this team, they're where they need to be. So when the Lakers are trying to, especially Schroeder and D'Lo, they're just trying to do things that are unnecessary. And the shot selection of Russell is just beyond me.
Well, we've known that from
This is a
Schroeder.
7
We've known
seed.
that from Schroeder, and like he said, that's why he comes off the bench. But D'Lo, he's looking to get paid this summer, and I feel like
This just
he's
ain't the
lost a
series for
lot
him.
of money.
This just ain't the
lost a lot of
series for
money.
him. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's just some teams are just a bad matchup. This ain't a series for him. If they'd have made it to the next one, maybe he'd look better. But this series. And man, listen, they're a 7 seed that got to the Western Conference Final, man. Like, bro, this ain't nothing a failure about this. Like, this is what it is. It's been the best team in the West all year.
All year.
Sometimes, man,
Best team in the
it ain't
league
the
all
X's
year.
and the O's, man.
Pretty much, yeah.
And if there's a failure for the Lakers, it isn't the series. The failure is the season. They shouldn't have been a 7th seed. if they would have had their stuff
Well,
together
they
early
sucked
on, they shouldn't have been
at
a second
first.
seed.
So,
But I look
they weren't
at
good.
I look at it as after the trade deadline, they were one of the best teams in the
Yeah,
league.
they got better.
So they got
better.
a new team.
Right. Totally different team.
And honestly, they got some players that are going to be good for the future of the franchise.
Yep.
Because now you can grow with that. I keep the Kyrie rumors are starting to start back up this weekend. But if you get Kyrie and pay him all that money, you're not going to be able to re-sign Austin Reeves. You're not going to be able to sign Hachimura. I'd rather keep that core, keep Vanderbilt. You can get rid of Malik Beasley. I don't know what his 3-and-D was doing, but he was sitting on the bench. I like Vanderbilt.
I like him too, but like, you know,
You don't have to pay him that much. He's a good hustle player. Keep him. Even Mo Bamba, like he's a good center off the bench. He's just been hurt. He hasn't been able to get in there. But I think they could have a bright future, depending on. But you're also looking at the health. Like this was their year to try to sneak a win in.
Here's a thing though, bright future, but your second best player is about to be 39. So how long does that last?
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't put a lot into the age. You either player you can't. There's dudes that, you know, dudes 35 years old that can't play, and dudes 25 that can't play. And you know, I mean, if you can get the job done, you can get the job done. And I guarantee you, if they can find another guy 35 and get the job done, they're
Right,
gonna put him on
yeah.
the floor.
I'm just saying,
you know, if
LeBron's
he's gonna
job's
be
a
out
little
there, he's
different than everybody
he's got to
else's.
produce. You know, he's got to be able to produce. You know, and I think, you know, the idea that, you know, if you're trying to figure out a way to win one more, you're gonna have to probably make a decision. It's either gonna have, it's not gonna be LeBron. We know it's gonna have to be AD. You're gonna have to make a decision with somebody to bring some other pieces in. Like you can't.
Well, the last time
These two
LeBron
aren't
tried to
gonna
play
get it to it.
GM, y'all ended up with Russell Westbrook, so you don't want that no more. So just
Yeah, but I think he plays GM like every marquee player and every team plays
But
GM.
I think if they have depth, and that's the problem. Like you bring Kyrie in, that's 3 people that play 50 games a season. So I think if you have depth, LeBron could sit out still and load manage if your depth can get you into the playoffs, right?
Not your
Because
best.
they're tired. LeBron is tired. It's not.
that's
He's not
another
showing
thing.
his age. It took a lot to get them into the playoffs. So
get
everyone's
into the
saying like,
playoffs, yeah.
"Oh, he's showing his age." Are you sure? Because most people at this age aren't even in the league.
Yeah.
Carmelo retired after not playing for a whole year.
I mean, yeah, he's showing his age. Yeah, he's not the same dude he was when he was 23. That's supposed to happen. All right, and
Yeah.
is he still good enough? Okay, that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
It.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think their biggest issue, like you said, they're fatigued. I even thought I noticed a little bit of fatigue with Reeves, and then just, you know, some of these other guys, the younger guys, are just unsure. They're not they're not seasoned enough. They're a little unsure. A lot of the rotations, they're a step too late. When you got a team like Denver, can shoot the ball from 30 feet.
Listen,
You can't be a step late. I mean, that's
Yeah.
whether you're college, high school, whatever. You can't be a step late on a team that can shoot the ball and passes it well. That's, you know, you just can't. And they're a step late. They're unsure. They're
Yeah.
fatigued, and that's it.
and they make everybody look like this. Quan think he's slick though. He think, oh, we're gonna talk about this. Then he gonna start the Lakers, and we're gonna be here for an hour and a half talking about the
cool.
Lakers.
We're done.
And then
We're done.
2 minutes on the Celtics and Heat. and it's like, well, guys,
I want to talk
see
about
you
the
in 2
Celtics
weeks.
need because I'm very interested in this series a lot. And before we move on to Celtics and Heat, Celtics are also down 3-0 on the brink of getting swept. My question for you guys and everybody in the chat: who has the better chance of just winning one game in the conference finals, Lakers or Celtics?
Lakers.
I think the Lakers.
The Lakers. I watched the Lakers play hard for 3 games.
Yeah.
That last game that the Celtics just put on TV should have been canceled by the network. Like, I stayed up for this? Nah, bro.
All right,
They
I
did
wasn't
not
feeling
show
good
up.
yesterday, so after the Golden Knights game, I decided to take a nap, and then I woke up in the fourth quarter. My boy Simply T had texted me saying that one of our Celtic fan friends blocked him on Facebook. So I went, I'm like, wait, why would he block him? Something must be going on with his game that's not that good. And I turned it on the fourth quarter. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
For them to not show up at all, and I looked at the box scores. It's not like the third quarter they just blew them out.
Yeah.
They got blown out in the
From
first period,
pillar to
in
post.
the second period.
Yo. Yeah.
Like they lost by at least 10 points in every period, every quarter.
I
think.
missed Succession for this? Nah, bro. Let me tell you something. I gotta
Yeah, you know, that's the thing too. Like, you know, you just talk about a team that could win one game. It's going to be the Lakers, because when the Lakers play well, they can get things at the basket. They can rebound. But they're too reliant. They're too shot dependent. if Tatum doesn't shoot well, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. And him shooting well, putting them in the game means he's got to go 40, 45 points plus. Like, I mean, you got to have a Herculean effort from Anthony Davis for them to be in the game, and that's not going to be enough against Jimmy Butler.
I wanted to give this dude a shot, but it is clear that the Celtics have the worst coach left in the playoffs. Wow. He is not good. I tried.
You know what he was doing 5 years ago? Not coaching.
Oh, what was he doing 5 years ago?
He was like a D3 coach.
Yeah.
Very limited experience. Very limited experience. And this is only like his second, third season even with pros. And now you're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Listen, it's like we said
against Spoles.
Like that, and like we said about Braun.
Riley's
said about Braun, I don't care if you're old. When I give you the ball, I expect you to score, right? That's why I'm giving you the ball, right? Well, you know what? Your experience, that's cool. But when I gave you this team, I expect you to do better than letting a whole quarter go by. They score 46 points, and you don't call not one timeout.
Now, I'm not a Boston fan, but for all the Boston fans out there, who are you going to hold accountable for this? Because I think it's ridiculous to say, oh, it's Jason Tatum's fault, you know. But you got to look further down the line. Brad Stevens makes this call.
It kind of from what
they're completely outclassed right now.
From what I heard,
and real quick,
well, Brad Stevens' dude was a Udoka.
Real quick,
so that's really
fun fact. If you want to look at the screen right now, Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla's college team fell in the Big East tournament in the hands of Jimmy Butler's Marquette Golden Eagles, and now Jimmy Butler is back again.
How do you not love that dude, man?
Destroying his team.
How do you not love that?
But hold up now, he did ball out in that game.
Mazzulla?
Yeah. Played well in that game.
Well, he didn't make it to the NBA.
Yeah.
He did, but did they give him a full contract, or did they just give him a?
They started interim. He started interim. They made him full time.
Yeah,
but is that full time just for a year?
No. He got a deal.
Did he get like
everybody's full time for a year? They just fired the dude who won the championship 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So everybody's year to year.
So let's talk about this. With so many great free agent coaches right now, does Boston get rid of him, knowing like, yo, we got the team, but we don't got the coach?
I think they got to look at from a PR standpoint. They can't go to another coach. I think they got to give him another.
And also, you're going to be paying 3 coaches at once.
3 coaches at once.
And from what I hear, the players love him. But here's the thing, man. We watched that
Lakers
team last
paid
year.
4 coaches at once.
Yeah, but when your kid loves
but they
one
don't pay him that much to
babysitter,
begin with, so it's not that much.
Yeah, but look, when your kids really love one babysitter over the other,
bro,
sometimes because she lets them stay up night and eat sugar sandwiches. You know what I mean? So,
sandwiches.
You know, so.
Listen. First of all, we talked about the Lakers game for like 25 minutes, and we were already talking about the coaches and firing them and all that stuff. So we didn't break this series down for more than 30 seconds.
Break the series down. I'm cool with it.
No, that's fine. No. This is way more interesting anyway. But but yeah, the players supposedly love him, I guess. But like, I don't know, man. You watched the team last year. That team was playing defense. It was all about defense first, and they had an identity. And he came in and was like, hey, I know you guys went to the finals, but let's do something different and shoot 40. This man said we have to shoot 40 a game. Yeah. Have to? Who?
You remember Emmy as a player?
Yeah.
That's the way he played.
Right.
Now,
hard-nosed
defense in your face. You know, he was like, what was the guy that played, he called himself the Kobe stopper, but he
Ruben Patterson.
Yeah, not that way. But Raja Bell. Raja Bell was like that, you know, punch you in the face. You know, well, Mazzulla, he was a guy that can knock down some shots.
Yeah.
So he values that. Okay? And that's what you see.
Hey, let me tell you
that's
something.
what you're looking at.
Hey, a lot of people listen, it was fun at the time to talk about Grant Williams for getting Jimmy Butler started, whatever, blah, blah. But the problem with that was Grant Williams was the only dude doing it. Because he actually came in and was tough and did get him a spark, was the only one playing hard. They have more dudes like that actually took it personally when somebody scores on them. You know, maybe they'll be better off in the series. They need more of that.
And Jimmy Butler doesn't need anyone to spark his play off Jimmy.
That was the wrong
dude. It helped a little bit.
That was the wrong dude to do it.
At the same time, I think Jimmy was going to do that anyways.
That's not something you want, bro. Well, listen,
one thing
he was kind of in a lull a little bit at that time.
Yeah.
That, like, listen,
they were down.
Listen, you play basketball before, you know. Whenever you think that you are playing as hard as you can play, and somebody says something to you, somehow you find the other level, don't you? You find it. Somehow it's there. Level. And that's what happened to him.
I think that one thing, which is good for basketball, at least young players, I think one thing you see with Miami that's really good is that you see you see your best guy and your second best guy are complementary pieces. They're not just two great players. And I think that's where the Lakers get into trouble sometimes. I think Boston is dealing with that because although Jason Tatum is the better player, I think Brown is 100% convinced that it should be him.
Is.
Right.
And,
He is.
and
That's the
they're
problem.
kind of at each other sometimes. You know, and I think you see that with Jokic and Murray. We know what side of the bread is buttered. You know what I mean? And we play through that.
But I think
don't see
Jokic
those
and
other
Murray
teams doing it.
are such different players
Right.
compared
Yeah.
to Tatum and Brown.
I don't think they even look at each other as who's better.
Yeah.
I think they look at each
They're
other like,
complementary
bro,
pieces.
when we're together, we can't be stopped.
Exactly.
What makes this Miami thing so crazy is they're complementary pieces. One dude's playing and the other dude's not because their second best player has been hurt since the first round.
Yeah, but I think they just not
Jimmy
bow
Butler's
down and let Jimmy Butler do what he does, but they play off of him.
Maybe their
Like,
second
you know,
best
they
player is
play off of
Spoelstra. Maybe that's why.
him.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And so a lot of people have been saying Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the league, right? So
Ever.
you have one of the best coaches, and then you have
A guy
brand
who
new
doesn't-
coach
who doesn't know. He
that
doesn't know
inherited
who
a
he is as a
team.
coach yet.
You know, I mean,
I've said this about Kevin Kruger. It's not
because
that they're
people
good
will
or
say
bad.
coaching doesn't matter,
Right.
but it does.
Second Ime slid in
Especially in a series.
the second Ime slid in them DMs, the whole franchise couldn't recover, bro.
They should have just
Don't
let
hit
Ime
send.
come back, like smash whoever's wife you want.
I mean, listen, like what we talking about last night? It ain't like they're really, them and their wives. I mean, are they really still doing that? I mean, listen,
I don't know, Kareem.
listen.
I'm not in those front
That was
offices.
just ego right there. Man, I can't believe you smashing my wife. Well, you're not doing it. Yeah, but it's my wife.
Wow.
Listen, y'all can't let bygones be bygones, bro. I'm trying to get this ring.
Oh man. All right, what were you saying about Kevin Kruger?
No, I'm just saying the same thing. Like, I just think it's the same thing. It's not whether or not a guy is a good or a bad coach. It's just he hasn't had time to figure out who he
Yeah.
is as a coach.
Yeah, that's
and I
true,
think
too.
Missoula's, this isn't the place to do it. Like,
Right.
to find out whether or not you can fight
right.
isn't when Mike Tyson say what you said about my mama. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
ain't it. You need to fight your little brother a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then venture out there with the big boys. And I think he's just like I said earlier, he's outclassed right now.
And let's give props to the Miami Heat. They beat the best team in the East already. Mm-hmm. And they're about to sweep the second best team in the East. Mm-hmm. So if Lakers don't come back and win in 7,
Oh boy.
if the matchup is Denver versus Miami, 7-game series, NBA Finals, Denver with home court advantage like everybody has had against Miami, who do you guys have in a 7-game series? I'm going to go first because I want to. I cannot go against Miami. They've beat all the best teams in the East. I just can't. I can't go against Miami at this point in the playoffs. Now, do I think they're the better team? Nope. Do I think they might play the hardest? Yep. 2 great coaches.
Okay, E40.
Yep. Nope. But these are two really good coaches. I like Mike Malone a lot. Same thing. Denver could have got rid of him a long time ago. They stuck with their coach. I think Denver's done a great job of building this team and staying together and not giving up if they lose in the first round, or if they get injuries and lose. They lost in the first round last year, right? Because Murray was out.
Yeah.
Either first or second. I know they lost early. They didn't get
Yeah.
very far because Murray was out. But,
yeah, 'cause of knee.
they could have just said, okay, Mike, you're gone, bring in someone else. And they didn't. They've stuck to their game plan, and look where that's got them right now. So I'm going with Miami just because the heart that they have. And if Tyler Hero has a chance to come back, which there's like a minimal chance he could come back, that could be dangerous for them as well. So what do you guys think?
Well, I'll tell you this. I all through playing and coaching, I've always sided with toughness. I think toughness trumps everything.
Yeah.
However, one thing that we know with the Joker is he's a guy that your toughness means nothing to him.
Tell you something.
And I think that's the only thing that could possibly neutralize toughness. Because you can't try, if you're tough, but I'm not tough enough, I'm tough too, but you're tougher, you win.
Right.
The only thing that can kill that toughness is a guy who just doesn't care how tough you are. Doesn't matter. And he's not trying to match you with toughness. He's matching you with focus on what his team does. So when you come at him with trying to be tough and run through him and all that, he's not even going to respond. He's just going to play. And I think that's the one thing that can neutralize that pit bull mentality that Jimmy Butler has.
Listen, let me tell you something. We grew up, we might not have all lived in the best neighborhoods. We had to worry about drive-by and stuff. This man Jokic had to worry about bombs being dropped, all right? This man ain't scared of nothing. We ain't learned yet that this dude is just... Listen, I love Jimmy. I want this dude to get that thing, but Jokic is different. And I'm glad people actually get to watch him play and see just how different he is, man. This man is a force. And I don't know how...
Noon ball at the highest
level.
level.
You know the replay you're going to be seeing over and over again, right? Remember that game, Miami versus Denver, and Jokic? I can't remember who it was, but
Morris twin.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Slammed him in the back.
Jokic was like, "Oh, I got brothers too, bro."
His brothers are in the stands
They're crazy.
at all times.
They're actually
At
crazy.
all times.
Which is one reason
they have
John
assassins.
Morant has never tried to get his boys to fight any Denver players or point red lasers at any of them, because his brothers will probably do something to you and your boys.
really don't.
Probably listen. Can we get sued? Is that possible? Because I ain't trying to say
you
that.
can't get sued. It's the internet.
Or somebody gonna be in my car? A Jokic brother? Like in my
Jokic
car when I
brother
get out
at
of
your
here? I'm not even gonna try and do the
Say
Serbian
it.
accent. Never mind.
Say it.
Nope.
Do it.
Nope.
They're for
Listen,
real.
Twitter is forever, bro. You ain't getting me like that.
But yeah, I would go with Denver.
Okay.
I think it'll be great.
Denver.
I think it'll go back and forth. But what could possibly, and I'm a big Jamal Murray fan, what could possibly hurt Denver is when they get to that point that Jamal Murray doesn't understand he's Robin, Joker is Batman. You know what I mean? As long as he understands that,
But I think the
that
way they
what's-
move the ball, he doesn't have that opportunity to take over like that without
Unless he
Jokic
doesn't
getting
move
the
the
ball.
Let me tell you something. What's so good about that team
True.
is because if you watch that game two, when Murray starts getting hot, he is Batman. They're like, Jamal's hot, give him the ball.
Yeah.
And that's what's so good about that team. They just find ways. And listen, it might start with Jokic with the ball, but he knows on this play, Jamal's getting the ball.
Yeah, and that's the
what's
thing.
so good
It's
about
all
the team.
all Jokic.
Right.
Because how
right.
many marquee players would be like, okay, I'm still,
Oh,
you
no,
know
there's
what I
a-
mean? Like
There's a bunch of scoring point guards. There's one Jokic.
yeah. But I'm just saying, as marquee players that will not accept that it's his moment right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what makes Jokic an MVP. Is the fact that, he can do X, Y, and Z. He does it at a high level, and he's hard to guard and this, that, and the other. But when it's time for someone else, he can be a complimentary piece. And, man,
But you know what, man? It's hard to discount this Miami team because we watched them in 2020. They had no business in the finals. And now it's like everybody's different, and they're still doing this. And, like, we want to short sell like a Caleb Martin, whatever, but he's out there getting buckets.
He's balling.
Big buckets. Like,
Every
literally,
game, too. It's
he
not
is
just a few
empowered-
games and he
He
disappears.
is empowered to grab the ball, go
Yeah.
one-on-one with Tatum, cross him, make me laugh at home, and then hit that jumper right in his face because they're like, go ahead, do it. So,
And there's 4 key players on their team that went undrafted.
yeah.
So it shows just play hard, like you said.
Yeah, play
It's a
hard.
hard-working team. You play hard, you're gonna make
Which
a
is
name
easy
for
to do
yourself.
when your top guy does that.
Yeah.
You know, he
and it
sets the
makes it
precedence
look
for that. Jason
even
Tatum
better when
doesn't
you're
do
making
that.
shots.
Well, we've talked about it before about would 30% of NBA players actually love playing basketball still?
You know what?
Because
That's kind of a catch-22.
Jimmy
I
Butler,
think-
you could tell he loves to play
Yeah,
basketball.
I think Tatum
and I
loves
think that
basketball.
reflects on his whole squad.
I've been saying this
I think Tatum does too, but I think there's a lot of people that are cool with getting their money and just being there.
Here's the thing. I've been saying this for a long time. There are some guys who are in the NBA because they're really good and they worked hard, and there's some guys who are in the NBA because they're tall.
And there's
from
another
their
group, though.
entire life, they've been saying you should be in the NBA, and
There's
that's
another
all they've
group,
known.
though. There's another group of guys that are in the NBA because you make a lot of money playing in the NBA.
Right, but
So
you can't be
you wanna
5'8". You
see
can't be
who loves
5'8"
it?
and do that.
You want to see who loves it? Take the salaries away. Then you'll figure
Yeah,
out
but
who
let me tell you
loves it.
something. All them 5'8" dudes ain't getting that money. You know what I'm saying? Like they're running backs. There's some dudes who are there because they're tall.
I mean, Andrew Bynum admitted he didn't like playing basketball. Same thing. He was always told how tall he was. You got to play basketball.
Yeah.
And this is just what he
And
did.
he made money doing it.
And he got
Yeah.
good.
Hey,
But then once the injuries, it was like, okay, well, I got my
If
money.
he was making
Why am
WNBA
I-
money, he wouldn't have been out
why
there.
am I going to
Right,
recoup
right.
Why am I going to rehab so much? I made the money I need to make.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
But not
you
just
know?
that. Also, maybe I just don't love this.
Yeah. They love the
surgeries
check.
suck.
They love the check. I mean, but then again, how many people in corporate America don't necessarily love their job?
Right,
They
exactly.
love making six figures. So,
Right, exactly. It's just like regular life. It's all
Yeah.
the microcosm.
Yeah.
Listen, I worked at UPS. You think I like slinging them boxes? Nah, bro. But guess what? I had a car note.
Yeah.
right.
Oh, here we go.
Right.
You like slinging those drinks, though.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They know about me out here in these streets, you know what I'm saying? You know, I be pouring them drinks, you know what I'm saying? That's I poured myself some yesterday.
All right,
Lucky
you
to be
know the
alive.
narrative you always see in the comments about NBA and all that. NBA is fixed. The NBA wants this team to win or this team to win. Listen, if the NBA was fixed, guys, I promise you,
The Lakers would not be down.
it would
by
not
3-0.
be Lakers and Celtics not going to the finals for Denver and Miami.
If the NBA
Miami's
was
kind of a bigger market,
Yeah.
but Denver, that wouldn't happen.
That's why when you
Do
said
know
they
how-
kept their team together, I was like, did they really keep their team together or understand nobody wants to come to Denver?
Yeah, but nobody left either.
You know?
But no, I mean, you're right.
listen,
but listen,
I bet
if it
it's
was
fun
fixed,
to play with Jokic. Listen, I say it. I think I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead. If it was fixed, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying if it was fixed, Lakers and Celtics would be in the
All you
finals
need
right
to
now.
know is if it was fixed, San Antonio would not be getting the first pick this year. Boy, don't nobody care about them. Oh, stop it.
That's a different story.
The ratings giant San Antonio.
That's
boy,
a different
stop.
story.
Man, don't nobody care about San Antonio.
I
Except
agree.
all the
San
French.
Antonio.
Except all the French.
Unless the
And-
NBA wants that money over there because they're about to be what Houston was when they had Yao Ming.
Yep.
Okay, but he could have went anywhere and done that.
They love the
boy,
Spurs.
come on, man. He could have went
Spurs are
anywhere
by
and done
far
that.
their favorite team. Boris Diaw, Tony
Yeah,
Parker are
yeah,
legends
yeah.
in France.
Yeah.
I understand that.
It's fixed.
And
The draft lottery. Listen,
if a great
the
Asian
NBA
player,
the games were fixed, but
a
the draft lottery was
if
fixed.
a great Asian player was now playing with the Rockets,
wouldn't
it
matter.
would be a
They
wrap.
already
It would
got
be a
him.
wrap.
It
That
wouldn't
is
matter. They
their
already
team.
got him. They already got him.
You know, that's their team.
Listen. So all the great Spaniards, it's going to be Lakers now? What about Marc Gasol?
He wasn't.
He was a
wasn't
Laker.
great like
Right.
that though. He wasn't great like Paul.
Listen. First of all, we don't know. Well, we'll get to that. We don't know if Miguel is great. But what I'm saying is, first of all, I've never heard anybody in my life say, you know what we need? The French market. Man, if y'all don't stop. If y'all don't
You talking to wrong
stop-
people then.
Listen.
The NBA wants money. They don't care where it comes from. If there's money on Mars and there's a Martian with 4 legs that can play,
And guess what?
They gonna get him in the NBA.
Martians will watch that man if he played for the Pelicans too.
true.
That's
But
the
the
only point
second
I'm making.
Martian, I bet you all those Martians are going to be Pelican fans. Like all the French love the San Antonio Spurs
And they still
because
will.
of their previous experience
And
with
they
French
still
players.
will. Listen, Yao Ming been gone how long? And the Rockets are still huge in the Asian community. Huge.
Yeah, that's my point. That's the point we're making.
My point is they still
So the
are. Like they
Spurs-
didn't go anywhere. Like
I know,
those
but the
fans didn't go
Spurs are
anywhere.
still huge in
Yeah.
the French community.
Right. And
And
they
now
still
it's gonna
will
be
be.
tenfold.
And they still will be.
Wembanyama was already wearing a Spurs jersey
yeah,
10 years
yeah, he's
ago.
a Spurs fan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because of Tony Parker. You see what I'm saying?
And he would not have stopped being a Spurs fan. Would not have stopped. That wouldn't have stopped.
No, no one's
them
saying that.
French
I think you're
people-
missing the point.
No, I think I'm 100% getting the point. Y'all missing the point. All them French people y'all talking about will still be Spurs fans if they didn't get the number 1 pick. They'd still be watching the Spurs.
Yeah.
But they'd
now
be
that they're
taken
getting
away.
their
They'd be
prodigal
watching.
son, do you understand?
Lord.
it's gonna-
Oh, wait. I know what's going on, folks. What's your favorite basketball team?
Houston Rockets.
Oh,
And?
okay. Now it makes sense.
And?
Because I think you have the Wembanyama, whatever his name is, jersey on already. Like he got the custom made Rockets
Okay, first
jersey,
of all,
thinking they were
I'm
going to
too
get
old
the
to be
first
wearing a
pick.
19-year-old's jersey. That is never happening. That's literally never happening. I don't listen to 19-year-old rappers either, okay? That's not happening.
What?
What they gonna
Ice
tell me?
Spice?
Oh, Lord. Why, listen.
Someone mentioned her name. I've never heard any of her music at
You
all.
try to get me in trouble. Listen.
Have you heard any
You
Ice
don't,
Spice?
this-
That's your boy,
Not on purpose.
It's a chick,
You
I
don't
think.
mess with
Yeah, but
AI
that's-
fans.
what's his name?
Ice Spice fans. Nicki Minaj, Beyonce. Nah, don't do it. Don't do it.
Are Ice Spice fans like
What's
that?
his name that just spent Jordan Poole? Just spent $500,000 on it, right? On a date.
Really?
Swear.
Was it Jordan Poole?
I thought it was Jordan Poole.
I heard something about it. I don't remember
That
who
was
it
Jordan
was.
Poole.
He should get punched by a teammate for that.
Oh boy! Did you see what Draymond said? Hey, This man Draymond said, "Yeah, once that happened, man, the whole season was kind of messed up." Bro, you did it. What you mean?
He said that on his own podcast.
So I messed up the season. How about you say it like that, bro?
Once that happened.
No. Oh, that? Oh, you want to tell us what that is, bro?
Right.
Once I punched my teammate. But, I mean, they should have punched him in the Lakers series because he was playing garbage anyway.
Yeah, he was awful.
He taught D'Lo what to do.
Now, I'm tell you something. Steph was looking it looked like it was back to Davidson days back then. It was just him and a bunch of dudes out there. They weren't doing nothing to help him. But, whatever. That was last week's thing. We can talk about the Lakers for another hour. That's what you want to do. You know it is.
I didn't talk about the Lakers, bro. I talked about Jordan Poole.
I didn't.
All right, let's go to Wembanyama.
Yeah,
Wembanyama.
I'm gonna get his name.
And he bought her a Maybach truck.
It ain't chicken if you got it.
$500,000 date.
I guess, man. I guess.
My wife is beautiful. She ain't that beautiful. She's beautiful.
Boy, oh boy. You gonna go back and edit that? You good?
No, it's live.
I've been married over 20 years. You know what?
That.
She would kill me if I spent $500,000 on her.
You know?
Thanks for the truck. This is over.
Are you out of your mind?
Listen, I mean, Jordan Poole making some good decisions then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The money part, well, listen, I can't speak in that world, but it's a good decision.
Yeah, I guess. All right, let's go to Victor Wembanyama. There's so much hype around this guy. Like, he's going to be and supposed to be the next great. Are they just trying to force someone to be, because LeBron's on his way out?
Boy, the French market.
Are they?
Listen.
Are they trying to force like a next superstar on us?
No, they've been talking about this dude for a long time, man.
I've been watching this kid for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard about him for like about a year and a half. And when I first heard about him,
but the ceiling for him right now, right?
Oh, no, they're being crazy about that. Yeah.
Jordan, LeBron, one of the best players ever, and he hasn't even played in the NBA yet.
Listen, first of all, he's played against pros. So we can eliminate the whole hasn't played in the NBA thing.
Yeah, neither did Luka.
Exactly, right? But the truth of the matter is, evaluate his game. He blocks shots. He scores on 3 levels. He can go left or right. He can score with a defender on his hip. He can score with a defender on his back. He can defend and move his feet on the perimeter. He can guard a lot of ones, not all the ones, but 2 through 5. He can defend the post. Like, there really are no holes in his game. And so the right coach can put him in a situation every single night where he just becomes a matchup nightmare.
What situation isn't there for him when you say?
And that's the thing. There isn't a situation.
To say that he hasn't played
what
against
right coach would it be? Oh, Popovich?
Oh gosh, Papa French. Listen,
French?
To say that he hasn't played against NBA players. Well, when he really got his popularity, or whatever, is when he went against Chet Holmgren like about a year or 2 years ago and dogged him.
Yeah.
And Chet was supposed to be the number 1 pick even then, and he dogged Chet. So he's
exposed. This is the thing that I liked, is he exposed the things that Chet couldn't do. Like, you know what I mean? And that's an intuitive understanding of the game. It isn't like a game plan. It isn't like, I want you to this and that. He just really picks up on things. I played with Scoot, and I saw him again.
Another beast, by the way.
Yeah.
Scoot is
and I saw him with Scoot, and it's just a different class. And Scoot is the real. Scoot is kind of like a Jamal Murray kind of a guy.
Scoot is.
But I mean,
so Scoot's legit top 5.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, he's not falling past 3. He should be 2.
Oh yeah.
But he ain't falling past 3.
He's Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
He's Jamal Murray.
No, Scoot is. He's.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll watch the game again.
He's legitimate. I've been on the floor with him, played with him.
And the good thing about Scoot, when he was in that game with Wembanyama, he was like, "No, I'm going at this dude."
Yeah.
Now, did it work out every time? Nah.
I would say he's a combination of Jimmy Butler and Jamal.
No, he's a dog.
Yeah,
that's
he's a dog.
Got dog in him.
He's a dog.
What do you think about players that choose G League over going to college?
I think until now with NIL coming into play, I think we do now have a true farm system, whereas kids can kind of decide, do I want to just go straight to the professional route, or do I want to make some money and develop myself? I think the opportunity to go to the G League is going to strengthen college basketball and get college basketball right to where there's kids like Sincere Cherry out of Kent State, Parker Stewart over at Tennessee Martin, low-level players that have high-level ability, that with the way that college basketball is set up now, they can play for 3 or 4 years and really, really get to where they need to be. Whereas before, those kids may not get an opportunity right away because you're going to bring in guys like Scoot, you're going to bring in guys like Wembanyama who have no intentions of being there longer than 2 or 3 years anyway. Let these guys develop in 4 years. Let these elite talent kids go right to where they want to go. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I got a question. What color is Parker Stewart?
Parker Stewart?
Yeah, I'm being so serious.
What color do you know Parker Stewart is?
He just the name.
He's mixed.
Okay.
Who's Parker Stewart?
Parker Stewart. I'm telling you, you can put that name on any resume. Boy.
Oh, gosh.
You ain't getting no type of discrimination with that name.
Okay.
Just the name.
My name is Parker Stewart. I'm filling out all the apps. Let me tell you something.
Any job I want.
I'm getting job, apartments, all that.
Listen, this is hilarious. I'm tagging him on this. I'm sending this to him.
Yeah.
That's great. Because we used to get on his dad about the name. Like, you know what I mean?
That's great.
That's great.
You walk
That's
in here
great.
with a Devontae Campbell. It's like, well, next.
Let's look at this Parker
Stewart,
guy.
huh? I'm sure he's an upstanding chap. He walks in the door. You're like, oh.
Or you think he scoots?
There must have been
he scoots attorney?
Oh, would you look at that? We lost your application. What's that in your hand? Next.
But yeah, I think the G League is a good conduit to these guys that want to be pros.
Yeah.
You know, you think of what Calipari did all those years. Now that's not necessarily going to happen anymore. Guys can just go get their money, or they can actually go to college and get $300,000-$400,000.
And what I like about it now is that it listen, there's got to be. They have to find a way to do it where it's less like, you know, it's kind of a sluggy thing. Like, there's no real regulation on it. I'm sure they'll find a way to do that. But what I do like about it is what it does for college is now we finally get back to when we all grew up watching college basketball, and there's players who weren't good enough to go to the league after 1 year, so they stay for 2-3 years. And we actually get teams that we know the next year. We actually know these players the next year. Like Parker Stewart.
Parker Stewart.
Never forgetting that name. For sure.
Listen, I'm telling you right now. Remember, well, perfect example is Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard is a perfect example. He was in the Big Sky where I was at. And he's a guy that was good, better. And I mean, just
Jimmy Butler, John Morant.
Yeah.
Those dudes.
And he had to go to a Weber State.
Yep.
He wasn't at a UCLA or a USC or a big, power conference school. He went there, honed his craft, got better, and he's a hard-working guy, so he got where he needed to be.
And that tells you that if you got it, they will find you. Yeah. If you got the talent, they will.
But I think getting
they'll find you.
Those guys out of college basketball creates an avenue for players that are willing to grind to where they need to be.
Exactly.
Because
again, we watching a team full of fifth-year seniors in Miami. I promise you, them dudes didn't come out early.
San Diego State.
Listen.
All right, my bad.
Waiting for the French audience.
No.
Tune in.
I'm moving on to the WNBA now.
Let's
Brittany
go.
Griner
Let's talk
is
about the
back,
Aces.
so we're going to play this clip of her intro in Phoenix. She played her first game in L.A. You know, she was lawfully detained in Russia, even though everybody wants to say unlawfully detained.
Well, that's the official name, unlawfully, illegally detained.
Illegally. But she was detained in Russia. Do you guys want me to read some of these comments that WNBA News gets on ESPN?
Not really, but go for it.
Okay, we'll do it anyways. It's actually hard for me to see the comments. Anyways, I'll pull them up. But what kind of impact do you think this makes on the WNBA as a whole? With her being back, she missed a whole year. She's back now. The arenas. Her coach was a little weird, saying she was shocked it wasn't a sellout in LA, which they still was like 10,000 there for WNBA Game 1 in LA during Laker playoff season.
What are you talking about?
But what kind of impact do you think this has?
I think it's good. I've never been one. I'm not a fan. I like when the Final Four comes around, or Super Bowl comes around. I kind of hide. I don't want to listen to Bob from accounting talk about sports all of a sudden to me. I don't like when celebrities force people who know nothing about the candidates to go vote.
Right.
I only want the purists to be involved. I think this is going to bring a lot of people to women's basketball who know nothing about basketball, know nothing about the fact that these women can actually play, and they're going to be there momentarily, and then they're going to go away again. I think what the NBA needs to focus a little bit more on is grassroots and getting young girls, stealing volleyball players away and getting them to play basketball. That's what they need to focus on.
I think they're starting to do that. I think
that's what they should focus their energy on.
That's the thing, man. You know what? But Caitlin Clark brought a lot of eyes of people who did not know a thing about women's basketball, but they showed up to a lot of Parker Stewarts. I'm saying, listen, and sometimes those people come by, know nothing about the sport, they see it, and you could make a lifelong fan out of them.
Yeah.
So I promise you, like, if Caitlin Clark makes the Final Four again next year, same thing's gonna happen. So that's cool. Bring the eyeballs, and it's okay for people not to know the sport and watch. What's not okay is for us to actually engage with them and actually give their opinions any validity. Like you said, Bob from Accounting. That's a cool story, Bob from Accounting. Shut up now, let the grown-ups talk, and just let them be. I ain't got to listen to it. I don't have to take everybody's opinion seriously.
And any of those women could whoop any of those dudes talking junk about that.
There's dudes who say, I can beat that girl because I'm a
this all the
Let me
time.
tell you something.
I thought that in 9th grade, and this
Right.
girl, I don't even think she was in high school yet, was dicing us up.
That's okay
On the
to think.
playground.
That's okay to think when you're 14 and 15.
Georgette Brewer?
These dudes are 40 saying
Georgette
this.
Brewer?
I don't even know who it was. Somebody I didn't even know.
Cimarron.
Yeah.
Listen, these girls.
Look, I played high-level basketball, and there's a lot of women that play with us.
Yeah, 5'7", 5'8". They will murk you. Yeah. You can't guard them. First of all, you get tired, number one. They will dice you up. Yeah. Stop playing. Yes. Watch these girls. Listen, I understand if you watch WNBA like the 90s, whatever, it wasn't the same. The talent now, all these girls can ball.
No, and I watched WNBA when it first started. Right. It was cool. It was cool.
Yeah.
Now,
a lot of smoke
like
layups.
The basketball is way better. They're way better now.
Bro, watch Breonna Stewart play and tell me this girl don't play like Kevin Durant. Please tell me she don't.
Yeah. And she dropped 45 yesterday.
Pull-up jumpers.
A lot of the same trainers are training these women.
Bro.
Yeah.
These are hoopers. Yeah. So I don't have a lot of patience.
And I want to get your take on this. If I was training a young kid, fundamentals of basketball, I would have him watch WNBA games over NBA games. What's your take on that?
Well, whether or not they were young or not, I tell guys not to watch NBA games. It's not the same watching NBA games. It isn't. That's not going to get you better. NBA games aren't going to get you better.
WNBA, like they're running plays every single time.
I say this
the
all
fundamentals
the time.
are very on point.
Yeah, I say this all the time in reference to women's basketball. We're kind of like at times basketball snobs. So if a guy comes into the gym, we don't know who he is. He didn't play at the level of myself or this guy or that guy. He may play, but he'll probably never touch the ball.
Yeah,
right.
Okay. Whereas my wife, who's never played, I could take her to the gym where the WNBA and D1 girls are, and if she stepped on the court, they would figure out a way to utilize her. They play the game 5 on 5.
They do have to think the game.
Guys
more.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Guys don't do that.
And that's what happens when it's I want to say below the rim game, but it's not even. Can't really say that anymore. There's a lot of girls who can dunk now.
Yeah.
But of course, more of them are below the rim players. So yeah, you got to think about you can't just out jump everybody.
And one more thing, quit telling them to lower the rim. None of them want that.
Stop. Nobody wants that.
Stupid.
Lower
I don't
the
want
rim.
that.
Stupid.
And first of all, I don't care if they can dunk. What are we talking about?
How many
Who
dunks
cares?
happen in the game? There's so few dunks happen in the game.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. What, you're doing all this so you can see 3 dunks in 4 quarters? Who cares?
Just watch and one.
Right.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I say this. There's so many times we've been in the gym, and there's a female that comes to play, and you better play her. Lots of times she's a cerebral player. She's playing with guys anyway, and if she's playing with guys, she can shoot the ball.
She can shoot for sure.
The girls that can't shoot never play with the guys, but the girls that can shoot the ball, they'll play with the guys because they can space, they can get open, knock down shots, and if they're playing with the right guys.
I wish you would double off me.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go right ahead, But yeah, so many of those guys that say that, I would love to get them in the gym. I would love to get them in the gym and let them play against some of these women.
Worn out.
Essence right here at UNLV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lot of dudes, and she give you that Me Too movement.
Yeah.
You don't want none of that. You don't want none of that.
Oh man. Listen, we got Candace Parker here in Vegas now. Vegas got stacked even more than they already were.
That's the thing. None of it matters. These aces are out here.
Aces and New York got stacked. They got Brianna Stewart. Who else they get? They got
Vandersloot.
Yeah.
And Jonquel Jones.
Jonquel Jones.
Yeah, more like take L Jones because you don't need to be here because we got this.
Listen, though. If you don't watch any WNBA basketball all year,
No, this is super.
please
team
watch the finals.
Yeah.
Because this should be the finals.
This
We
is
hope it's the finals.
Straight super team.
I wish they would make a new rule and make that a 7-game series because they play best of 5.
Yeah.
That would be a great first ever 7-game
There's
series.
attention span I think they're afraid of.
This
Yeah.
is like now listen, I know y'all going because some of y'all got to be spoon fed stuff. I got to talk slow to some of y'all. So, but understand what I'm trying to say. The comparison of the Aces and Liberty would be like if we ever got the Super Heat, the Super Team Heat,
Super Heat.
Super Team Heat versus the KD Warriors. You know what I'm saying? It's like these are super. It's all stars everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
Hall of
the
Famers.
comparison.
Yeah.
I understand that they're not as good as the 2017 Warriors. Please don't be dumb. You don't understand what I'm saying, but that's
Warriors would beat them.
yeah, they'd beat them 175 to 30. Okay, cool story, bro.
Yeah.
Sound like an old 50s gangster. Shut up.
50s gangster.
I'm gonna give you a wallop.
A wallop.
Let me at him.
Oh man. Now that is, I mean, Aces even got one of the best Australian players to come over, and she didn't get in until garbage time, and she's really good. I mean, that's how deep they are right now. So
This is Lakers.
it's fun
Celtics
to
in
watch.
the 80s,
Listen,
yeah.
if you guys just comment on ESPN, articles about WNBA, and you haven't even watched the game, go watch a game. Because I was like that back in the day, too, until we actually got a team. Like, I would watch the Sparks when they got to the finals
we were
and stuff like
stupid
that.
men. Of course.
Yeah. But when I started going to the games, I'm like, yo, this is entertaining. They could ball.
Bro.
Like, any
Watch
of them could
Chelsea
whoop
Gray
us.
at the end of a shot clock and tell me that these girls can't hoop.
Yeah.
Chelsea Gray
At the end of a shot clock.
Best one-on-one player.
Bro,
in the league.
She's a baller.
She plays like you
She's
tell
got
me she
the
don't play
deepest
like
bag in the league.
you
Yeah.
tell me she don't play like Kyrie. Like come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah.
I know what I'm looking
She
at.
runs
bro.
like Draymond.
Bro,
It's like, man, let's get another chip before them knees give out. But hey, she's my
she do got
favorite.
that little hunch. Yeah.
She's my favorite.
Like,
Her bag is deep.
Bro,
Her bag
she
is
is.
deep. Man.
She will pull that jammy in your eye. She don't care at me. Why? Because you are on the elliptical at EOS. You think that you can ball with these girls? Stop it. Stop it. Oh, I spent 20
Chris
minutes on
Wynn
a
said, if we're
treadmill
being
walking.
100% honest, high-level high school boys teams beat WNBA.
Who said that?
Chris Wynn.
He's lying.
Bye, Chris. Wait, Chris Wynn?
High-level
Chris.
Chris,
High-
what?
high
What's
school.
wrong with you, Chris?
basketball teams beat WNBA.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You take UConn's teams about 2 or 3 years ago when they were really at their peak, let's say 5 years ago, right? And you have them play against some of the JUCO teams, some of the low major teams. The difference between that level of basketball and men's basketball is athleticism.
Yeah.
But when you take some of these girls that can actually move up and down the floor and are sleight of hand and can move their feet and know positioning, the basketball court is only so big. So
My
they're
thing
going
is,
to take some
who
of those angles
cares?
away.
We don't
you know?
do this with anything else. There is
Yeah.
nothing else in life that we do this with. We always do this with women basketball players. Well, these men could do this. Okay, and
We don't
I'm
do
su-
it with pageants.
I'm sure there's some women who could outcook Guy Fieri. Like, bro, we don't do that. Exactly. We don't do that with nothing else. We only do that.
These
Who
men can
cares?
walk that
Then go to a high school game.
catwalk
But
way
you don't.
better.
You don't go to a high school game. So who cares?
Chris, when you call in if you want.
Listen, me and Chris gonna have to talk, man. I'm a CC win, man. We have to talk. Oh, high level. Okay, bro. You know who's not high level? The Lions. How about that?
Oh,
C win.
this is their year. We'll talk
Well,
about
they've
football.
had 47 of
Yeah,
them.
we'll
so.
talk about football later. In the season, not anytime soon.
C win gonna get this smoke that day.
I mean, do you want to predict the Super Bowl champions? 49ers.
Yeah, that's
We got
over.
it.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
shows.
All right, show's over.
NFL opener show's already over.
All right, let's talk about a team that might be coming here.
Pause.
the A's, they keep saying we're going to be here. We already, got approval for this site, and then they moved it a week later to we're going to tear down the Trop and we're going to be over here. But what people are looking at is they want way too much money from the city, and the city's like, nah. Oakland A's are a very cheap and frugal, we could say, ball club, right? Do you think the A's actually do come here, or do they have to like totally revamp their business deal they want with Vegas in order to come here? Because I don't think we're giving them that much money.
When this first started, I thought it's done. We're getting the A's. And I saw the deal that we offered them, and Oakland offered them more. So either they just really, really want to leave. So I guess maybe that. I guess I just talked myself into it. They must just really want to leave, and if they want to, I guess it's gonna happen. But $500 million is not happening. We're not.
That's not
we're
happening.
not doing it. We can't. We can't sell that. Like, because that's something that's got to be voted on. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we can sell that. They offered them $395. They were like, no. This isn't an offer. This is the best I can do.
Yeah.
I think that we have kind of gotten it out of our head that they're still using us to sweeten another deal. I think we all collectively kind of thought we were past that.
Yeah.
And we should know better in Vegas that you can't trust what they say.
Yeah, it's negotiations, man. These things are always, especially when they go public. Man, you hear one thing one day, the next day it's no, it's this.
Especially when they switched up so quick on the locations.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's a little weird.
I never understood the initial location. I was like, having spent so much time in so many cities that have pro teams and how much space it takes up and parking, and it's like, how is that going to work? And then
what was the original one?
What was that? Right there across from In-N-Out.
Where Wild Wild West was.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, what are we building? A high school
hate
stadium?
the idea of having a baseball stadium that close to the Strip, man, because NFL is one thing. That's once a week.
Yeah.
81 games. I got to deal with the Tropicana off-ramp. Nah, bro.
Downtown Phoenix.
It took me 30 minutes to get here. It took me 30 minutes to get here.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
This is it. I might.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about tearing down the Trop. I feel like that's a worse location.
Yes.
I'm not a
that's
fan
right on the strip.
I'm done with us tearing down stuff. Yeah, I'm done with us tearing down stuff. I'm so appalled by the fact that the city that I grew up in, as soon as we look at something that we don't like, we just tear it down.
Well,
we got to get away from that.
Tropicana ain't did nothing for me. I'm cool, man.
But that's the mentality that we have in the city. And if you go to most major cities, anywhere else you go in the world, there are things that have been there for a while. You either renovate them or you use them for another purpose. We tear down things.
Well, they about to renovate that
all
thing
the
to a
time.
baseball stadium.
But the poor Trop, it's been 30 years they've been talking about tearing that down. They've given letters to employees before. This isn't the first time employees got letters saying in a year
they should
we're
stay
shutting
loyal.
down. Yeah.
Right?
Who should?
No, those employees that are constantly being told that they're going to be out of a
okay.
job,
Yeah.
they should remain loyal to an industry that if the right
that's not loyal to them.
We're at the point now in this city that if enough money comes along, we'll get rid of the strip altogether. It's just it won't even be a strip.
The problem
anymore.
is there ain't enough money. Enough money for that. But listen, we shutting down a strip for Formula One.
Yes.
So
we're ready to take out palm trees.
And guess what? Hey, let me tell you something. That's money right there.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If more there is no end. There's
that's
no
that French
end.
market. French market is the F1 joint. Tony Parker
owns some of those cars.
He'll race in one of those.
He probably will. Probably
Sure.
will.
I think so.
All right, man. That is pretty much our show. And we want to say rest in peace to a legend in football and activism, movies, first UFC commentator ever for UFC 1. You don't remember that, do you?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm not going to name any names, but somebody in my family who gave me birth said James Brown and did RIP to James Brown. But it was Jim Brown. I feel good. But I don't want to embarrass her because she's probably watching. But Jim Brown
UFC,
passed away. Yeah, he was the first commentator on UFC 1. Mm-hmm. I think he did 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, I think he did too.
He wasn't very good at it, but nobody was. Nobody even knew what they were talking about.
Picking up what I'm putting down. Anyway, keep going.
No, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan was there also.
He's no Joe Rogan.
But I mean, he lived a great life, obviously. One of the best running backs of all time.
I think he's the greatest running back ever, but that's me.
Probably was. Didn't only played 9 years, I believe.
I think he's one of the greatest football players ever.
Yeah.
Like, he's top 3.
And the thing about him, he stayed around the NFL forever. Like, he was always there. So, yeah, props to Jim.
Somebody
Jim
said
Brown.
about him, like, he was a dude who would run over everybody. That's how he played. And he outlived the dude that he ran over. Dude, like, he played football when the helmets was soft till he was, and he lived till he was 80.
Heads was hard.
Bro.
So he didn't have CTE.
Well, there's probably some people who disagree with that. But
There's probably some women that he dated would disagree with that. But that's the show for today.
Now
right?
we're getting to what UFC, huh? That's cool. Think he joined the... Nope.
You gonna talk about this dude after he died like that?
Oh, I just think that's
Okay,
cool
it's-
that he, you
okay.
know, come to UFC. I wonder if he'd have done the bare knuckle too if he was still around. I just want to know.
All right, folks. Anything else we have to talk about before we bounce? Anything else in sports? That was good.
Golden Knights.
Oh, Golden Knights.
Oh, it's nighttime. Let's go.
It's nighttime. Thanks. Talked about so much NBA, we forgot about what's
talked
really
about-
going on.
No, we actually talked about doing that.
We-
and it's
yeah, we
like,
did.
So
that was part
everybody
of.
cool?
That's actually in the description of our show. Vegas Golden Knights. All right, now that Lakers are gone, I can focus only on the Golden Knights. The first 4 games of the conference finals all went into overtime.
Crazy.
Florida versus Carolina. Florida's up 2-0. They won 2 games in Carolina.
Yeah.
Florida's the 8th seed, so I don't know what's going on in Florida.
I wanted to play him at first. Now I'm like, am I sure I want this? But then again, we still
You don't
got
want to go to
series.
Florida for anything.
So Florida beat Boston, and then Miami,
We gotta get
Florida's
through
beating
Dallas
Boston.
first.
So
Let's get through Dallas first.
Oh yeah, we got to get through Dallas. So we're going back to Dallas for game 3 tomorrow and game 5 on Thursday. Game 4. I skipped the whole game, but
I thought I didn't know the rules.
up 2-0.
Say, what, is this
We
three-
skip a game,
confused.
and then you go to game 4.
It's an odd number.
Then you go to game 4.
Oh, that metric system is crazy in
Now,
Canada,
have
bro.
you been to any games? Have you paid attention to Golden Knights?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I mean,
Have you been to a game?
Being from here, no, I haven't had a
Let me
chance.
tell you,
to
I
go
went to
there.
game 2 against Edmonton, so I'm not going to another game until the series is over because we got worked that game.
See, I went to
And
game
I-
1
and I
against
blamed
Winnipeg, and
myself.
I said I would never go to another game,
Right.
and I ended up going to game
Yeah.
2.
That being said,
It was great.
If
I used to go to
anybody got
Coyote
free tickets
games.
for me, I'm taking them things.
Look, I used to go to Coyote
free, yeah,
games
yeah.
when I was in
Playoff
Ohio.
game?
Then I went to
Arizona.
Blue Jacket games when I was in
Blue Jacket,
Ohio,
yeah.
and then Coyote games when I was in Arizona, and I cursed both of the teams. So I
Yeah,
figured it'd be best for me
because
to stay away
Coyotes
from
getting
T-Mobile.
ready to leave.
You
ain't
cannot
they?
do anything to curse Arizona Coyotes any more than they already are. They're legit playing in the college. Like, they don't even have an arena. They have a 5,000 seat arena
I
they're
guess
playing
it
in right
could.
now.
The Columbus Blue Jackets. Oh, there's that.
Yeah.
Wow. You're right.
True.
You know, actually, why don't you go ahead and stay away from them games, bro?
Yeah, that's what I said. I'll stay away from
listen,
T-Mobile.
We can go
Stay away.
to we can watch this. We can watch on the big screen somewhere. We good, man.
Yeah.
Y'all-
And it's also easier to stay away when you look at the ticket prices the farther you get along in the playoffs.
Well, yeah.
It's a little more difficult.
Well, guess what? They keep buying them.
Oh, yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
I'll hike them up even more.
Listen,
oh, you
it-
can afford 1,000? How's 1,100 sound to you? Let me tell you something.
And I got some free tickets for the second game I went to, second playoff game. So free tickets always feel better. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because when you pay for tickets and they lose, which they lost most of the times I paid for tickets this year. Wasn't happy about that.
But
But
I'm extremely cheap. I'm still upset that I spent $8.
Oh, what's happening right now?
$8 for
Twitter?
for a blizzard at my son's graduation the other day,
What?
and it's dry. And my
Did you
wife
say
came
your
back. And
son's
my wife came back. It was
graduation
this
and-
big. It was this big. I was like,
but
the
you're
whole
still
family
you're
could have
still
had it.
thinking about that.
I'm still thinking about it. And I'm still upset about it. $500,000. That's not gonna happen.
Congratulations on the years of hard work. No blizzard.
No blizzard for you.
Listen, I got ice cubes. Like, what do you,
Yeah. No, but
All right, back to Golden Knights. Were you watching the game yesterday?
I had a pool tournament. I had to watch it while I was winning
yeah.
my pool tournament. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my pool team. You know what
The
I'm saying?
crazy thing is they weren't playing good most of the game. Then
No,
the
they
third
weren't.
period, they came
No,
in
defense
and
was stifled.
Yeah. They actually got some shots in the third. I think they had 10 shots after the second period.
Yeah, it was 17-10 going in the third period.
Yeah.
They Dallas didn't have a bunch of shots. I mean, 17 through 2 periods still isn't a lot. It was 27 combined shots through 2 periods.
So ended up scoring the game-tying goal with about a minute and a half left, 2 minutes left. And then overtime, two games in a row.
2 overtime.
Score within the first 2 minutes of overtime really quick. And I think that's how you have to do it against Dallas, because Dallas is not playing around.
Yeah,
they
well,
might
where
score
you
points
at?
if you don't.
Yeah,
So
like
the
where you
question
down
is, does taking them to overtime on the road, because as you say, a series doesn't begin until you win on the other team's floor, other team's ice, right? So the thing is this: does Dallas say, "Okay, we took them to the
right
brink.
there.
Now we're going home," or do they say, "There's nothing we can do to beat these guys"?
Nah, well, Dallas, they went to the Stanley Cup Finals. What was it, 19 or was it 20? I think it was 20.
They went to the
19. Well, one of those years.
against
But they
the Blues.
They beat us. No, it wasn't 19. It was 21. 21.
Yeah. Was that the bubble?
That's all I was thinking.
No. The Bubbles when we lost to Montreal. They went to the finals. I think it was the year after. 21, they beat us in 5. So all I'm saying is they've been there before, and a moment like this is probably their vets. And I'm sure they're going to come with their best
they've all been close
effort.
games, so they can look at it like we were in it.
Well, they
both
outplayed
times.
them. Yeah. They outplayed
Well,
them.
definitely game 2. Definitely game 2. They outplayed us.
We outplayed them game 1.
Game
and
1,
they,
yes.
They ended up scoring at the last minute to send us into overtime.
Right. But game 2,
but they definitely outplayed us in game 2.
That was rough. I was like, well, figure out how we're going to take one of these on the road.
Yeah. But the fact we pulled that out, it probably does sting a lot more than them losing game 1, because they really thought they had that.
Yeah.
So it is going to be tough, but they're really good at home as well. They have our former coach from last year, Pete DeBoer.
Yep.
But it's going to be a great series. I picked Knights in 5 to begin with, because I just felt like they've been a lot hotter. Dallas struggled with Seattle, which in the regular season we kind of mopped Seattle every game.
I wanted Seattle so bad because we were wrecking Seattle.
And we lost every game to Dallas, all 3 games in the regular season.
Different season, baby. It's
Different
nice
season. But, it looks good right now. We're up by 2 to nothing. So we'll see, man.
Yeah, listen.
It could be a sweeper. It could
2
still
years
be a
ago,
seven game series.
We were down 2-0.
I think they still won.
2 years ago, we were down 2-0 to Colorado and won 4 in a row.
Yep.
So, never know.
I do think we take one in Dallas.
I think they
so.
still won, and this parade is about to get crazy.
Well, let's get to the Stanley Cup.
Yes. Let's.
Because a lot of people, once they got to the Stanley Cup in their first year in 2018, were giving them the title, and then Washington came in and showed us we weren't ready. We weren't ready. So we're not going to take any team lightly, whether it be Carolina or Florida. But Florida, I mean, talk about them real quick, Cream. They're the 8th seed, barely got into the playoffs. Ends up beating Boston, who had the best regular season ever in the history of the NHL.
Was a machine.
And Florida ends up beating them in 7 games.
And was down 3-1 to Boston.
Down 3-1.
Listen,
and they've been on fire ever since.
Crazy story. And exactly, ever since then, I mean, there's not a lot of close games. Like they are beating teams. So, like I said before, I wanted Florida, but now I'm like, man, y'all just keep going to 4 or 5 overtimes and beat each other up for a little bit, and we'll just.
Is that a crazier story than our goalie?
That's pretty crazy too. That's pretty great because we might have found something there.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't think that we had the goaltending to win it all before he got in there, because the great goalies, they erase your mistakes.
Yeah.
Brussois, he was cool, but he wasn't a mistake.
Good.
He wasn't a mistake eraser.
Yeah.
He make the saves he had to make. Aiden's making saves that it's like, oh, I remember this. Like this is a championship.
I mean, you
level
remember
stuff.
Logan Thompson was the
He was
goaltender
right,
most of the year.
Yeah.
And we went through so many goaltenders this year. But
no.
yeah, I mean,
Last time this happened was 49ers. So let's hope it doesn't end up like that. But hey, we got Jonathan Quick. Yeah.
Who has won 2 Stanley Cups in his career.
Who knows?
But,
we could just knock the dust off him if it comes down to it.
And before we leave, it took 2 or 3 weeks to finally happen. But the A's broadcaster that said not the Negro League, But the whole N-word league with the ER, hard ER, got fired. He said it was a mistake. You know, easy mistakes.
What was so bad? It wasn't that it was a
But he
hard
just got fired
R.
today.
It was a very fluid R. It was just
Oh, like he says it on the regular.
yeah. He said it like manager at McDonald's, like manager. You know,
But the crazy part is like nobody noticed until
Yeah.
somebody like went back.
yeah.
And
He hit you with
Listen,
the like,
here's
yo,
my
yo,
thing.
did he? Did he?
listen, I don't care what you say at home, bro. As long as you ain't messing my money
Yeah.
or my freedom, whatever.
It did
Listen,
remind me of that South Park Wheel of Fortune
I
clip.
know some of y'all be at home trying to be rebellious. I know y'all be saying it at home. Listen, I don't blame you. I might do the same thing.
Hey, any backlash for his partner though?
No, because he was solo when he was on screen.
No, he wasn't.
His partner was there?
He was right there next to
Yeah,
him.
right next to him. But at the same
And he didn't even flinch.
But at the same time, though, I mean, you are kind of taught like on TV, be professional, show must go on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what he's really supposed to say in that situation. Like, hey, buddy,
But I mean, if he didn't even
I
flinch,
read
even
Rosa
flinch.
Parks' biography.
he didn't do this. Like,
if I'm
hey,
at
we're
your
right.
house and your sister and your mom say something, I'd be like, y'all be tripping.
Yeah,
Your
I
body would
understand
be
that.
like,
I
"Oh, man."
I understand that. I'm just saying, TV's a different
Something.
animal. TV's different. You're supposed to just
Because you're trained to not
you're,
react.
you're trained
was
to
like,
not
yeah,
react
that's where
and
we
keep
went.
it rest right. Because you do this. Now we both viral. Oh no, I hope nobody heard. I hope nobody heard that.
But I want to be
Nope,
viral
not
for
me.
the right reason. Though, who was it? Was it Austin Powers? What's his name? From Canada, Mike.
Oh, Mike
Oh,
Myers.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers was with
I
Kanye
mean-
when
I mean,
he
I
said
don't know.
that about Bush.
Yo,
And
he was like,
listen,
"Oh my
he
gosh."
didn't react that way.
Yeah, but he's
He
not a
reacted.
live. He's not used to live TV. That dude. That was.
He was on Saturday Night
said-
Live.
yes.
What are you
Okay.
talking
He was on
about?
Second City.
He did live TV.
Improv.
Saturday Live.
He was like, "Oh my."
That's different.
rappers.
Stop it.
Oh, that was different.
Stop. He grew up on live TV.
Michael Myers is on Saturday Night Live.
No, he was on Second City.
No, he was on Wayne's World.
Canadians aren't funny, man.
What?
Sorry, Canada.
Canadians aren't funny.
Canadians aren't funny. Jim Carrey.
Oh, gosh.
There's like 4 in life.
Wow.
Man.
There's like 4.
Tom Green.
Tom Green's funny. Oh,
The McKenzie
I don't
brothers. You
think
never
Tom
seen
Green's
Strange
funny.
Brew?
Tom Green.
I don't think Tom Green.
Listen to what we're saying.
crazy.
Tom Green.
I don't like Tom Green.
Ugh.
He just does such stupid stuff.
Have you ever had a cancer screening?
What?
You owe
He's
that
gonna do
to
a Tom
Tom Green. Guys, check your balls. That way you won't get cancer. That was hilarious, man. Stop.
I wish
Stop.
there was a
My bum is on your lip.
foundation to
My bum is on your lip.
eradicate Tom Green too.
He's funny enough. He's funny enough to get Drew Barrymore.
Is that being funny? Was she just with him as a joke?
Long,
Then that's funny
a long
too. Then
con.
that makes it funny.
And you can't really look at Drew Barrymore and say like she's dated like the most, the best looking Hollywood stars either,
She just likes a sense of humor, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. She's
Not-
been in
not that I know
25
her.
Adam Sandler movies,
Ah, right.
50 First Dates, 50 Sandler movies, same thing. But listen, we are
Anyway,
out. We will be
Canadians aren't
back
funny.
next week sometime. They might join me. They might not. Depends on what their schedule's like. But I will be here. We will be here. They will be on sometime with us. But make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We do have a lot of exclusive interviews coming up as well as the live shows. So make sure you guys tune into that. Share the replay of this broadcast, and we will see you guys later. Go Lakers! 7. Quastradamus.
Like it's a 9.
Lakers in 9.